Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Today we're going to be
remember, burn the barn.
Burn the Barn Down podcast. Yeah, it's been a while, guys.
He's forgetting it.
You have to cut me a break a little bit. It's been a minute. We took the holidays off.
Yeah, we took the holidays off. How was your holidays? Good.
Really good. Really good. I had a lot of stuff going on. Really.
Everything passed so fast, though.
Yeah, everything happens quick. Yeah. But I mean, it seems like it's been forever since we made one of these. It's only been a month and a half, maybe.
Yeah, but we did one before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's before Thanksgiving.
Oh, so it's been almost a month.
It's been a month at least. Yeah, it's cool. It's been nice, though.
Yeah, some time off, but we're back,
Back and better than ever.
Yeah, today is a, very, I don't know if it's
infamous day.
Infamous day. January
American
6th.
history. January 6th. Today is we're actually doing this on the anniversary of January 6th. Insurrection, not an insurrection. I guess we're going to talk about that today.
2020, right?
2020.
That was 3 years ago.
Hey, I can't believe it. You told me that a minute ago, and I'm like, for some reason, I was thinking it's been 2 years, but
no, it's 3 years of,
Oh man, and that kind of brings me to a point. Actually, let's take a look real quick before I get to that point. Let's take a look at that video.
Okay, no problem.
Do you want to do that?
Yes, we'll do that.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the video that clips of the Trump speech that started this whole thing off. The one where he tells everybody he's going to go to the Capitol building.
Yeah, and protest and
right. So let's watch that real quick.
Okay.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Oh man, I'm telling you, watching that footage again,
Yep.
it kind of brings back memories. Were you watching when all that happened?
Yeah, it was actually very embarrassing to me.
To me too. And okay, so what I don't like is time. It's been 3 years. We were talking
3
about.
years.
So 3 years later, looking at that footage, it hits you the same when you remember.
I would think it was somewhere like in Libya or somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Somewhere out
exactly.
there. Where it's not the United States of America.
Especially watching the footage of the police officers getting beat up.
Yes.
You see all of the stuff that was happening.
In Nancy Pelosi's office.
Right. Exactly.
I've never seen that. Have you ever seen that in the history of this country?
No, I don't think it's ever happened.
No.
And everybody's okay. So everybody's saying it was because Trump had a right to challenge the election, right? Which he did. If you remember that was already going through the process. Same thing. I don't know if you're old enough to remember the Bush-Gore thing.
Yes.
So Al Gore challenged, and it went through the courts. Okay, he lost.
He lost. They recounted, right?
They did a recount in Florida.
Yes.
The whole the hanging chads and all that. If you guys remember that.
See how Al Gore was. He was reasonable. He said, he respected what the court said. And
yes. Transition of power. That's what has to happen.
It's democracy,
And talking about looking at old clips, I was watching an old clip of Hillary Clinton.
Oh yes.
When she said, "Here's what's going to happen when he loses. He always says, I didn't lose." So talking about the Emmy that he didn't win.
It hit it. I think 2020 hit his ego.
It did.
I saw how he expected a landslide.
Right. And then when he started losing, they have video or audio. I think it's audio of him saying, or testimony, talking to Mark Meadows, saying, "Hey, we need to do something. This is embarrassing. We can't let everybody know we lost." So he knew he lost.
But it's because how he looked to people. Like right now, we're talking to people. A lot of them are saying, if Trump was in power right now, nothing would be happening or what's happening, right? But supposedly, when he was president, a lot of things were good. To a fair point, businesses were doing better, no?
Yeah. Yeah, and also, I mean, it's a counterpoint. I mean, I guess we'll have to do that, but I just have to remind everybody that Obama gave him a thriving economy.
That's what a lot of people say,
and that's what happened. I mean, you lived it.
Yes,
you're a businessman. You feel
Obama,
it more keen than others.
When Obama got the country from Bush,
it was a deep recession. Exactly.
2008, 2009 were hard years for the United States.
Yeah,
a lot of people lost homes, and and then by the time Obama was out of office, the economy was great.
Yeah, he shot it up, and in 8 years he did a great job.
He did a great job.
So I mean, not to get off the insurrection thing, but
I just want to go touch bases on more.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff, like his followers, if you still talk to them, they think it was a better time, when Trump was in power.
Right.
And so he actually maybe he thought it was himself.
Well, to be honest with you, if somebody gives me something thriving and I run with it, I mean, what am I bragging about? You know what I mean?
He took the credit, and then I guess he thought he was going to win by a landslide against Joe Biden.
I think what did him in was his response to COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That affected him.
It was going to screw up anything anyway, but the way he handled it. And so one of the things that we want to talk about 3 years later, now 3 years after the insurrection, is how history looks at things.
Yes.
And how people try to change a narrative. When I say change the narrative, I don't want to sound like these guys on NBC and all that stuff. Yes. What I mean by changing narrative is that you change what actually happened. You're controlling what you want people to think and feel about what happened before, and that's what I mean by changing the narrative.
No, yes, but like like I said, it was a very embarrassing time for the country.
Yes, it still is. Even if you look back on it, and if you notice, there's people waving flags right now today, 3 years later. They're celebrating those MAGA flags and Trump flags everywhere.
And if you ask them, they still don't think it was that bad. The insurrection was that bad.
That's what I mean by controlling the narrative. I just want to share something with you guys real quick. I watch a lot of videos. I mean, that's what we do, right? Yes. That's part of why we enjoy talking about this. We like consuming that kind of information and staying informed. But I got onto an account that I hadn't been onto in a while, and I can't remember which one. It was one of the social media accounts. I got a barrage over and over of right-wing stuff.
Okay.
And you know what? That stuff sounds just like the stuff that I listen to. And I can see how people slide into that mindset if they hadn't seen what happened. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. I saw it. I lived it. You know.
We saw it together.
Yeah. We both were alive, and we were both cognizant. We were old enough to remember 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
And that's crazy to me that people can change the narrative of how you look at things and how.
And if like I said, you still ask, our David. Remember David or one of them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you ask him about the insurrection, he still can't admit,
that it was an insurrection, that it was bad,
or that Trump kind of provoked it or instigated the insurrection.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
he was starting to come around a little bit.
But it was a lot of people that day.
Right.
A lot of people all over Texas, all over the place were there.
So I was looking at, because we were going to do this, right?
Yeah.
I found out that 1,100 people were charged.
1,100?
Yeah, and 900 so far, and this was older numbers, right? At least 900 people have already been not just charged, but indicted. Not indicted, convicted. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. So 900 people at least have either been convicted or they pled guilty. 900. That's crazy to me.
I think was it really worth it? A lot of people are doing many years in jail now.
Yeah, and if you ask those people now, a lot of them are like, "Man, I can't believe I fell for that."
Yeah, well, you're in jail right now serving a sentence.
Some of them 20 years.
20 years, while Trump's still, enjoying his Mar-a-Lago estate,
Eating lobster and shrimp and whatever he wants.
I just wonder, was it worth it doing that?
Okay, so to those individuals, I know they don't think it's worth it, but what I don't get is the people that are still following him.
Yes.
Even after the ones who went to jail. They got out and say, "Hey, look, it's not worth it. I made a mistake."
Yes.
They're not saying that because they have to. They're not saying that the court's making them say it.
No.
They serve their time. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
but these guys are saying, "Hey, that was a mistake. I should have never listened to him. Here's how I fell into it." Listen to those guys. They'll tell you how to stay out of that.
I was looking into Judy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani. Yes. He just admitted that a lot of the stuff that he was saying was wrong.
He knew it was wrong.
So he actually is a big he's been part of the insurrection too.
Yeah, Steve Bannon also.
Yes, Steve Bannon too.
He's the one calling people, hey, this is going to be crazy. You guys get together. You know, his podcast.
Has Rudy Giuliani been charged?
I think I don't know. Honestly, I wish I could tell you, but I don't know if he's been charged or not. I know he's been charged in a defamation lawsuit.
Yes.
I know he's already been, found guilty of that. He's having to pay $148 million for that,
yes.
for the insurrection lies that he told.
That's, and remember during, not to get off topic, but during 9/11, Rudy Giuliani was looked up to.
He was
for being the mayor of New York, right?
Yeah, he won the internet. Everybody knew he
was supporting him, and
he did a great job. Honestly,
yes.
Credit to where it's due.
And then when he started following the Trump agenda,
I call it the Trump train.
Trump train. It seems like his credibility just went down.
Yeah, and if you look at him, he changed from a strong, a leader.
Yes.
He ended up being a follower, just weak. He looked like a weak man.
Yes.
I mean, he just looked different. He didn't look the same.
Yes, and like I said, if we ask Trump about the insurrection, he will never admit,
right,
that he provoked it or he.
No, and the thing is, he will never do that. But luckily, we have laws in place.
Yes.
Everybody said he's being unfairly treated and this and that, but we have laws in place to keep you from doing things like that. And what it looks horrible when he's your guy, right?
Yes.
To these guys, it's like their favorite football player.
Yes.
He did something bad, but it's not. It's what justice looks like. That's what justice looks like.
Yes.
And there's a lot of Republicans going after him also.
And as a matter of fact, during that day, wasn't somebody died?
Yeah,
the gal out of San Diego,
Babbitt, Ashley Babbitt.
She died on.
Yeah, she got shot. But then there was also 2 or 3 policemen that died.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, there was 2 or 3 cops that died. The service police.
Oh man.
Capitol Police.
Yes,
some of it was heart attacks that were old, but still, if you didn't have an insurrection,
yes,
they wouldn't have had that. They were fit.
And like I said, when that insurrection happened, how come the National Guard didn't?
Because what happened at the Capitol building, everybody's saying that Nancy Pelosi should have been the one directing all that. Yes. To me, that doesn't make any sense. So the president's right there. He's hiding in his little bunker.
He should have put a stop to it. No.
He could have. All he had to do was tweet. Remember, he was tweeting all the time. All he had to do was tweet. All he had to do was say, "Hey guys, knock it off. This isn't the way we want to do it." No, man. Every eyewitness account says that he was in the lunchroom. I think he was in the lunchroom, right? Laughing, saying, "Hey, watch, this is exciting." He was surprised that not everybody felt his enthusiasm.
Yes.
Did you read that? You hear about that?
But it's just it's tough to the way the country has gotten into, because it seems like every day he comes up with something new,
Right.
And they're still following that agenda after the consequences of the people that are in prison.
So I like to make a comparison. I don't know if it's gonna rub people the wrong way, but I always like to compare it in my head. Now it's the first time I'm really saying it out loud to the Civil War. And the reason, I know everybody's like, wait a minute, but hear me out. What I'm talking about is controlling the narrative. So remember the Civil War, when we're told in school, it's about states' rights.
Yes. It's
about states' rights. They have a right to govern themselves. But if you look at all of their constitutions, and if we wanted to secede, like California wanted to tell the United States, hey, we're breaking off, they have to write a letter.
Yes.
And so all of these Confederate states wrote a letter to the United States of America, and in it, the first thing they said was, we believe that slavery is a key component to our economics.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
They said it in the first thing that they talked about is slavery. Okay. And then why is it 100 years later, all of a sudden it's about states' rights?
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Same thing's happening right now with the January 6th.
Yes.
Trump didn't want to leave office. Just to get everybody straight, Trump did not want to leave office. He knew he lost. He did not want to leave office. That's what it was about, him wanting to overthrow a good transition of power. But now look where we're at 3 years later, and we're talking about, he had a right to question the results.
I think that was anti-American.
What's that?
Him not trying to leave power and giving Joe Biden What he deserved, you know?
Yeah, passing the torch.
Passing the torch, because
transition about peaceful transmission.
Obama gave him pass the torch without any issues,
and he didn't like Trump. And the only issues with that was Trump didn't go to this. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. He didn't show up when he was supposed to show up.
Yes.
He didn't want to go shake Obama's hand. He didn't want to really. Yes. I mean, you know what I mean. So, but that's my point. They're the same. Tell me there's not a lot of. You know what I mean?
Yes, a lot of same. And even like I said, a lot of Trump followers are the same people that are pro-American, America, right?
Exactly.
And when that was happening, that was anti-American.
It was anti-American, and they're the ones throwing and screaming the loudest. They're the ones trying to go in.
Yes.
And then they're saying, "Oh, but it was Antifa."
Oh yeah, I remember.
But look what happens on the anniversary. All these Trumpers show up to.
You know what? And you know how people say Antifa was bad. Yeah, Antifa was bad, but this was worse than Antifa.
Yeah, it was. It was.
It's it's a worldwide embarrassment. You know.
It was. It still is. It's going to be a stain forever. And I guarantee you, countries are looking at us and saying, "I can't believe that Trump is still a thing."
Yes.
How is he still a thing? I can't understand how people expect him to save everybody. Well, look what he did when he was in office.
Yes.
And what's he saying now? I'm only going to be a dictator on the first day.
Yes.
What does that mean? That means on the first day he's going to enact laws. He's going to make it so where he doesn't have to leave office again. You can do that in one day.
You know, and I mean, it's crazy how but you know his followers, his base, they're still sticking with him.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You know. Yeah, it doesn't matter. A lot of them suffer the consequences of still being in jail.
Right.
You know, a lot of them. You know, if you ask, what has Trump done for them? A lot of them can't explain.
They can't, and
can't.
They just say, "Oh, we were better." Well, where were we better? Well, the economy. Because you know why they say that? Because that's what Fox says all the time. Fox News says that all the time.
The economy.
That's all they say is the economy.
You know, but I think like under Biden's administration, he's done more. Like you said, you broke down all the stuff he's done, and you don't see Biden's followers act this way.
Exactly. I don't get it, and then people are like, "You ever seen a Biden rally? I don't see anybody with flags. Okay, because." You know what I mean? I'm sitting at my home. You know, I watched his speech. Did you see his speech, the January 6th? And I think really that was his coming out speech to start his campaign. And he did great. And then, here's what pisses me off about Trump. I'm watching the Trump speech also, right? Because I'm watching both sides. And the first few things he said was, "Did you see the Joe Biden speech? He's stuttering, he's mumbling. Dude, Joe Biden looks strong, man. He looked strong. He called Trump a loser." You know, Dark Brandon showed up, and everybody expecting old Joe, Sleepy Joe. Man, he came out strong.
Yeah, he probably got enough rest.
He looked good, dude. He really did. And he looked strong. He spoke strong. I mean, have you ever spoken in front of a bunch of people?
No.
Okay, you make mistakes all the time. Even on this podcast, we'll make a mistake. We'll stutter. We'll say something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then that happens when you're young also, so that kind of stuff doesn't bother me.
You know, but what I get is mostly all the Trumpers attack Joe Biden every time and he's to blame too, Joe Biden, because he does. I mean, he says stuff
he does. He does, but he's done that all the time. Yes. He's always done that. But
they don't. The same people that are criticizing him for that don't criticize Trump when he says that the immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country.
Exactly. They think, oh well, he didn't mean it. It's a coincidence that that's the same thing that Adolf Hitler said. It's not a coincidence. He said it all the time. He tells you he likes these dictators. He admires them. He falls in love with that guy in North Korea. Remember that?
Yes.
We wrote each other love letters or whatever he said.
And like I said, it's and a lot of those people that follow Trump agenda and his rhetoric are evangelicals.
Yeah, so to me that just tells you two things, man. The state of the Republican Party and the state of Christianity today. Yeah. It can be horrible, and people are like, so they had a chance to show their Christianity.
Yes.
They had a chance to highlight their Christianity and their patriotism.
Yes.
And really, when you look at it, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's fake. Yes. It's not really. They're hiding. They're using that to front other options, other feelings.
Yes.
Right. You know what I mean?
No, and like I said, they always want to say love, right? It's love.
Right. Yeah.
When you're saying immigrants poison the blood of this country, or
And every single person here, except for the natives, are not. You know, they're all immigrants. So if you're white and you're here, then you're a European immigrant. That's a fact. That's the truth. It's the truth. That's where they came from, right?
I mean,
they immigrated from somewhere. They didn't just sprout up here.
You know, yeah. Like I said, it's 3 years. It passed 5 fast too, huh?
Yeah, and I can't believe we're still on this crap about. Oh, it was a peaceful protest. No, a peaceful tour.
You know what's?
And how do you see that? You saw it. You lived it. And I've seen people on podcasts almost come to blows talking about that. I mean, these are like big podcasts.
You know, even I still because I get flash. I'm thinking about of that day, right? Mm-hmm. Weren't they all in the Capitol building? All the senators and congressmen.
Oh yeah, they were in the chambers.
Chambers, right? They had to hide.
Yep, everybody was hiding. You remember?
That's
Josh Hawley running. You know, Mr. Tough Guy.
See, that is like a civil war.
It is, and that's what Trump incited. He's the one that said, "I will be there with you. You have to be strong. You've got to show strength, otherwise we'll take your country away. We have to fight for our country." But so what does he mean they were going to do? Just show up and, hey, we're out here.
3 years later, the country's the same. They haven't taken anything. You know? And I hear, if we let Joe Biden run the country again, we're going to become a communist country.
They say that all the time. How many years in a row have you heard them saying they're coming after your guns?
Yes.
You know, and it never happens.
Like I said, and a lot of them are like, like I said, a lot of them are evangelicals. They believe in God, and they feel like Trump's their savior.
Right. I know. I've got family members who think that Trump is just it. He is, God put him here. He's like God's right-hand man.
You know, like, if he's God's right-hand man, then why did God allow him to be removed?
Exactly. Oh, yeah, but because he was chosen by God, so the Democrats are stronger than God, I guess. You know what I mean?
It doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah, because if you're saying he's the man of God, God's with him, and then 4 years later he's gone.
Right.
So, and then right now you're saying God's going to put him back again.
Yeah. Why did he?
That doesn't make sense with God. Like, God doesn't play those kind of games.
It's not, man. I'm telling you, dude. It doesn't make any sense to me how they can think like that.
But like I said, everybody's respected. Everybody has their own opinion. But yeah, I've been noticing a lot of TikToks. A lot of the Trump followers, they speak, but they can't bring facts.
Right.
And when you want to confront them with real questions or with proof,
right?
They always seem to want to fight.
They get mad.
And it seems, and these are older people. They've seen.
I'm gonna put a clip right now.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've seen it or not, but let me put this clip.
Tell me 3 Democratic policies that you support.
Inflation Reduction Act, American Rescue Plan, the Infrastructure Law, the PACT Act, the Chips and Science Act. I think it's good that Biden pulled out of Afghanistan. I can go on.
No, I get it. Wow. Okay, would you like to talk about the pullout of Afghanistan?
Why did you feel bothered that I just listed policies I think are good?
Because
I think it's great that he lowers prescription drug costs.
You don't know enough about those policies.
So one of them in the Inflation Reduction Act is capping the cost of insulin for Medicare recipients at $35 out of pocket per month. And I think that's really good. I don't think seniors should be having themselves price gouged. And then also now Medicare can negotiate drug prices. They rolled out the first 10 medications they're going to negotiate.
This man, he ain't yet.
That was a mayhem that was going on the whole time. So now Medicare will negotiate drug prices. I think that's really good because of Joe Biden and Democrats.
Don't worry about it.
I think Joe Biden is an illegitimate president. I think the election was stolen, and I think he's going to be killed for his treason. How about that?
See, and that's why I understand. That's anti-American.
It is, exactly. And this guy's showing him proof of what he asked the question. The young man,
yes,
answered the question, and he didn't like it, got mad, and he's all of a sudden Joe Biden's going to get shot, for being a whatever, I don't get it.
And then I don't know, more like, they ask him, what would Jesus think, about?
Right.
Oh, Jesus would vote for Trump.
Yes, exactly.
It's Trump.
I think there was a thing. I don't want to get into that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, they found some more Leviticus. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Where they're talking about the government. You know, you have to be anti-government. You know.
Yes.
And they said they took that out of the Bible. Anyway, that was I don't want to get into that.
You know, but it's going to be. I mean, the elections are around the corner now.
Right.
And we got the debates coming.
Yeah. So, do you think Trump's going to be able to run? I mean, he's running right now.
Well, you know how
Maine took him off the ballot.
Yeah, and then Utah, right? Or
Colorado.
One of them.
Colorado took him off.
So the Supreme Court is it going to go to the Supreme Court?
Yeah. They're right now. They're deciding whether they're gonna pick it up or not. But they have to hear it. They have to.
Yes, because California's not going to take him off the ballot. They said.
I don't know.
Because he doesn't have a chance to win in California anyways.
Yeah, but my point is the Supreme Court can either if the Supreme Court rules for Trump, it's over. You know, because that's it. It's done. He's going to be on the ballots. You know, and you can't.
Are the Trumpers going to go against the Supreme Court?
No, yeah, they might. So here's what I don't understand. There's another thing that I don't understand. Like, Trump is one man, right? You believe him. Then you have to believe that the FBI is corrupt.
Yes.
The courts are corrupt. Bill Barr is corrupt. You know, the handpicked by Trump, he's corrupt.
Yes.
The election workers are corrupt. Everybody's corrupt but Trump. Trump's the one telling the truth.
Yes.
How does that make any sense to anybody?
That's one thing I don't understand. Like I said, it's even scary.
Yes, exactly.
You know, because right now, I guess, did you hear that he got a? Because I've heard a lot of people, friends of mine, that are, you know, I said I don't support Biden either.
Yeah,
we're just talking, you know,
right,
and trying to make a, you know,
just
conversation, discussion. You know. But I have a lot of friends that are saying, oh, you know, Trump, he donated all his salaries, you know, for you heard that, right?
Yeah.
And then a report came this week, right, that he received more than $8 million from China.
Yes, exactly, and that's not even counting the millions he got in Mar-a-Lago.
Yes. So and then wasn't he anti-China?
He was.
Yeah, he was
allegedly. And he was saying that Biden was stuck in China's pocket, right?
Yes.
But if you look at it, he was the one that had China on his taxes. Remember when that came out a few months ago? Trump had China on his taxes.
And so, I mean, but what I say is, what I don't get is, you can show all that proof to people that follow Trump, and they'll say, you know what, no, it doesn't matter.
They'll stick with it no matter what. I've seen that even with this insurrection. They'd say, well, if the courts say that he's guilty, I don't care, because they made it part of their identity. You know what I mean? Like football fans. You know, like they live and die their team.
But like I said, they're putting their eyes on one man.
Right.
And I go back to the evangelical thing.
Mm-hmm.
We can't trust no man.
Exactly.
Right, and a lot of these people that support Trump are people from, you know, a lot of people from the Midwest.
Right.
You know what? But I think
Texas. There's a lot of Texas.
But I'm gonna tell you something. If you talk to a person here in California that's a Trumper, you talk to them, you can reason with them.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
But
if you go to back east, Midwest, it seems like
the South, the deep South.
Yeah, they don't care about nothing.
They don't care.
All they say is Trump.
Yeah, and I say it every podcast. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of racism involved in all that.
Yes.
Because Trump, everybody knows Trump's dad, right? He was part of the KKK.
Yes.
He got caught in a rally. Trump has been, you know, he got caught in New York, I think it was, with prejudicial practices on his renting to people. You know, he wouldn't show it to black tenants.
No, and he
got found guilty for that.
And then when he said, doesn't he say the first day I get into power, I'm gonna mass deportations,
Muslim ban.
You know, and then when I think about it, it's like, wasn't Melania here for a moment? She was working.
Yeah, she came in
on a tourist visa, right?
On a work visa, right?
I think she was a tourist visa. She was working, if I'm not mistaken.
She was
working.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she had a tourist visa.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
And then his first wife,
Ivanka.
Is Ivanka?
It was a woman.
Ivana or one of those.
Ivanka.
Yeah, Ivanka. Ivanka's his daughter.
Ivana is his daughter.
Ivana, one of those.
Yeah, Ivana's his daughter. She does that clothing line.
And then she was here. Her naturalization was kind of iffy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of that too.
Oh man. So,
I mean,
do you believe it's racism involved, or is that just me?
No, it is a little bit.
Remember the birther movement with?
Yes.
I want to see his birth certificate.
Well, that's true. See, and what I don't get is, if that would have been someone else, they would have canceled him.
Yes.
Right.
And then, so what's happening now is Nikki Haley's here a little.
Yes.
You know, because she's got that Indian name that she has. They're like, oh, I'm not sure that she's eligible. I think she was born in Missouri or something in the Midwest.
See, so it's more of a cult.
It's a cult status. It's a cult.
Yes.
To me, a cult is something you can't get out of that easy.
You know, and it's just,
you can get out of it, but it's got to be you. You can't talk somebody out of it.
And like I said, a lot of people, we talk to people that are Trump supporters in California. A lot of them are pro jobs. You know, they're
right. Mm-hmm.
They have businesses, and they understand what the Democratic Party, to a certain point, is affecting businesses, right?
Right, yeah.
But they have reason.
But the thing is,
but if you talk to people, like I said, back out there are people that you could say Trump hasn't really done nothing for them.
Right.
And they're saying, oh, Trump.
They don't care, because to those people, they follow the social stuff. Owning the libs, talking bad about gays and talking bad about deporting Mexicans and Muslim bans and stuff like that. They latch on to that because that's all they have. You know what I mean? And God says this is what I need to do. I mean,
I wouldn't think. I mean, America. I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't. She's ever going back to the '60s. Remember?
Yes, exactly. Who was? That was a good thing that I heard whenever Gavin Newsom was talking.
Yes.
Did you hear him say that? What did he call it? There was a term that he used, but about America going backwards. And if you think about it,
yeah, because to the point where they're questioning Nikki Haley.
Yes.
I mean, I like Nikki Haley. I think she's.
I do.
You don't like her. You don't like her.
I do. I like her. Of all of them, she's got the most. But the problem is that she's not afraid, or she is afraid to talk against Trump.
Yeah, because they're going to go after her.
And all of his followers. Did you see the part where they asked her about the Civil War?
Oh, yes.
They said, hey, what was the Civil War about? Oh, man, you had to ask me a hard one or something like that.
Yes.
I'm paraphrasing. You had to ask me a hard one. Dude, it's the easiest question there is. It's hard to answer because you want to protect your growing popularity. You don't want to get Trumpers mad at you for saying that it was about slavery. You know what I mean? And then that's what it was all about. It's the easiest question to answer.
Yeah.
What was it about? Slavery. It's in all the documents. It's even in the Articles of Confederacy.
Yes.
It's in there. Look it up. It's in there.
And you know who I feel bad for too? How they're attacking Mike Pence too. I think he was treated wrongfully. For sticking with democracy.
No, I know that's true. The only reason I don't feel bad for him because he hitched his wagon to the Trump train. He did it. He made he chose it on his own. He made a decision, and that's what happens when you when you go to link.
But when it came time for him to show his,
his fortitude. You know what I mean? His strength.
He stuck with
Constitution.
With Constitution.
Yeah.
And yet now they went against him.
I know.
So now whoever's right or whoever's pro-American, they're going to come after.
They're going to come after you. That's why everybody right now is afraid. So what they need to do is they need to realize, this is me, I'm giving advice to the Republican Party, right? What they need to do is just, cut our losses. If MAGA is going to be the way it goes, it's going to be MAGA.
Yes.
But y'all can't be a part of that because there's no way that's going to end up in a good way. Stop right now. Let everybody know. Speak against Trump. With all of you speaking against Trump, Trump can't stand by himself.
Yes.
The way Trump got in power was because all the people that he bullied.
Yes.
I'm talking about Cruz. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And what's his? Graham, Lindsey Graham. But my point is, if those guys would have stuck to their guns,
yes,
instead of being afraid, they would have been able to make a difference.
Have you ever thought? When Hitler was starting?
All the time, man. All the time.
Have you thought? I mean, we don't have nobody that's that old, but I wonder if those times were the same time in Germany as we were going or we're at. Right?
Everybody.
Because we weren't. He was a nationalist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
At Germany first.
Germany first, exactly.
The Jews are.
Trump, honestly, he won't admit it, but all the historians will say he is pulling from the playbook of the Nazis.
Yes.
The same thing. Berman, that's an actual Nazi quote. That's what he said.
So usually that type of politics don't work.
It doesn't. It works for the poorly educated. It works for the poorly educated. If you stop and think about it, if you're really trying to look at something,
yes,
you will see all of these historians telling you that. I mean, we weren't old enough to be there, obviously.
Yes,
but people were, and they wrote it down, and then they said what happened, and what they said was that it didn't start out like burn all the Jews, right?
Yes.
It didn't start out that way. What it started out as is we need to protect our nation. I'm the only one who can do it.
Yes.
We need to put our nation first, just like it's happening now. Exactly.
Yes. Or like I said, when I saw they asked Trump, if he was president, he said, "Oh, I would stop everything, in the Middle East." Or
yeah, right.
But he never gave any solutions.
No, and he can't.
And yet you ask him, his own following would be like, "Yeah, he would have."
He would have done this. He would have already had us. Gas would have been low.
Yes.
Even though he's the one who made that deal to drop the price of gas, for that little bit of time.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, they had to pay those bills. OPEC decided they had to start producing.
Yes. So it's
or stop producing, I should say.
It's interesting. It's interesting times, I mean, but like I said, I also don't want Joe Biden to win.
Yeah, but he's gonna. Of the two, it has to be Joe Biden.
I hope it would be Kennedy.
It's not gonna be. He's lost already. It's right now. It's between him and Nikki Haley, Trump and Nikki Haley. They're the only two that are doing that New Hampshire.
Yeah, but he's running as a independent.
Yeah, but he's not going to be invited to anything. He won't make it. That's a pipe dream. I don't want him.
You don't want him?
No, I don't want him. He's still a lot of that. He's a conspiracy
Somebody different. Somebody. That's what we need.
Okay, Kennedy is how old is Kennedy? 60 something.
Yes.
How's he different? He's not different.
Different ideas.
He's got the same ideas as all his generation. He's not new.
So would you rather have him or Trump?
Biden.
No, him or Trump. If it was up to
neither one, really.
Okay, so if Trump was to get called by the Supreme Court, they would say he's ineligible to run for president. Then who would it be? Joe Biden?
It's going to be Joe Biden anyway.
You don't think Nikki Haley could stand a chance against him?
No, she can't. Especially not after that fumbling of that question about what it was a civil war.
What about Robert? Can he take on?
No, he's not either. He won't. Trump's poisoned the Republican Party so bad that there's that the House of Representatives, they had 221 people.
Yes.
Now they're like 218 because people are quitting. What's his name? The one that Santos, what's his name?
Yeah, George,
whatever. He got kicked out also.
He was a Republican too, huh?
Yeah. So I think they have like maybe a 2-people majority now, or it might even be 1. So it's slim, and it's not getting any better for them.
It's gonna be,
To me, the Republican Party, there's no way they're gonna win.
But
they won't win.
Yeah, and I guess like the Republican Party, they need to look farther than Trump.
Trump's old.
I know, but I'm saying
he's old. Why don't they?
Trump,
yeah, exactly.
If it's not Trump, then who is it going to be?
It can't.
Because they don't like Nikki Haley either.
No, they don't. But the rest of the Republican Party favors Nikki Haley.
But they don't say it.
No, they do. She got all this backing. She's got it. She's got a lot of. She's the chosen one to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If it's not Trump, it's going to be her.
She can't beat Biden, I think.
I don't think she can beat Biden. I don't think she can. I mean, she will get a lot of the votes that are maybe in the middle.
Yes.
But it won't be enough because she probably lose all the Trumpers. And what happens is they just won't come out and vote.
But who's bigger, the Trump, the MAGA population, or the Biden population?
The Biden population, easy. Trump, because the Trumpers The Trumpers are just a part of the Republican Party.
But it seems like everybody else that wants to run, or it seems like they're being bullied by the Trumpers.
They are because they're Republicans.
Yeah, but like I said, congressmen or even these senators, a lot of them seems like they don't want to support. They just stay quiet right now.
So the thing about what's happening right here, you probably heard this before. You can't win a what's it called? let me try to do that again. You can't win a state.
Yes.
You can't win a state election without Trump, but you can't win a general election with Trump. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
That means like if me and you are running for something local, and we want to be president. Like your state, yeah, you have to have Trump on your side.
Yes.
To be elected. But because Trump backed me and not you, I won't be able to win general election against everybody because there's too many people that are anti-Trump.
Yes. Okay. No,
I chopped that all up, but you guys know what I'm trying to tell you. Trump is he's poison as far as winning a general election.
Yeah.
Like remember what happened with Herschel Walker?
Yes.
A Trumper, he just got he couldn't do it, But for a primary, yeah, you can.
Yes.
You got to have Trump for a primary at the moment. Maybe not anymore. I think that's changing.
Yeah, but have you noticed Trump's energy kind of more on the down low now?
You talking about his personal energy or his
personal energy?
I think he reads the writing on the wall.
Yeah, because 2016, he was.
Right.
The Trump airplane was all over the place. It was.
Yeah, he was all over it.
And it seems like this year, his following's still there.
It's not. I don't think it is.
But see all these polls? They say he's still leading in some places, even over Joe Biden.
Yeah, but that's what happened. They said that Hillary was going to win too. Remember?
Yes.
And it's just not. It's not there. It's not there. You said it yourself. His why would he change his demeanor so much? Why isn't he coming out swinging all the time anymore? Yeah, he knows. There's writing on the wall.
I think he's worried about these.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, I know he is.
So the
you're talking. Let's be clear. You're talking about all the lawsuits.
Yes, the lawsuits.
Are
those still going on then?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's in trouble in a lot of them.
So besides the him being off the ballots, are they connected with these lawsuits?
Yeah. Well, not really because what happened? Let's just take Colorado for instance. Colorado actually said they had their own meeting, they had their own investigation, right? They said they said he did incite an insurrection. That's why they're taking him off the ballot.
Yes.
And people are mad about that because, and I get it, because he wasn't found guilty in a court.
Yes.
And unless you count that as being a court, I don't know. The judges are telling him they did it. But does that count?
But after, like I said, after his speech on January 6th, what happened? They went in there and they.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah.
So if you go back, he's the
one that said go to the Capitol building.
Yes,
you got to be strong.
See, so
now he didn't say go shoot everybody. He didn't say
But if it wasn't about that speech, this wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
So he is at fault.
If you stop and think about it, and if you look at it, I don't care what the courts say. Just by what you saw, he did it. And, because you saw it, just like I said, just like you guys saw it too. You know what happened.
Yeah. No, it's just like say me and you were we have a problem with some individual. Well, I have a problem with this individual, and I'm like, Daniel,
hey, go pay him a visit.
Go pay him a visit, Daniel. Show him
go get your friends, man. Let's
show that you back me up.
Exactly.
And then something happens to that person. Who's guilty?
It's got to be the one who sent him.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I mean, obviously the guy that did it, but there's got to be a lot of culpability of the people who sent him, and that's not what's going on right now.
I would want to see what the people that are being sentenced, or the 1,000 people, if they had the same opinion now.
Oh, they don't. I've been seeing a lot of it, and they're mad at Trump. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought my president asked me to do something, and I'm what's going to do it. So it's obvious. It's obvious. It's obvious. Only the people it's not obvious to are the ones who have. They're embarrassed maybe because they sat back and watched it happen.
Yes.
You think there's a lot of that going on?
I think so.
People don't want to admit it. Dang, I got conned. I would have gone too because a lot of them are saying, I would have gone if I had the money, if I had the time, if I didn't have to work.
Yes.
I would have gone.
And what's going to be interesting is if Trump doesn't win the election, I wanted to see the Republican Party, what they got to say now.
Right. But see, the thing is,
because now there's no threat.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. He's done.
The MAGA
he's done already, and they still won't.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I think, like you said, I think he has a chance of winning. What I've seen, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
It's probably, as we said, the right wing media.
Yeah.
I think he has a very high chance of winning. You're telling me.
Okay, so I'm going by here's what I'm going by. I saw what happened at the last election. He lost by 7 million votes. The most, Joe Biden got the most votes in history, 84 million or whatever it was. And look what's happened since then. We've got the insurrection. We've got him talking about, talking Nazi speak. He's speaking like that. He's talking about anti this, anti that.
Yes.
You think he's gained followers?
They don't care.
But my point is, there's people that do care. You can't do that kind of stuff in America, because I know Trump loves the poorly educated, but there's a lot of educated people in America that don't jive with that. And if you stop and think about it, a lot of the people who you see in the road, you talk to them, they're listening, they're watching podcasts, they're listening to firsthand accounts of the insurrectionists. They know there's a lot of people that are opening their eyes. They're getting woke, if you want to look at it like that. They're waking up to what was really Trump.
Yes.
And they don't want to talk about that very much, because America is all about keeping things equal. There's no way Trump's going to win. They just want everybody to think they are. You know what I mean? They have to have it like that.
Like I said, and like I said, this the money he got from China. You know what?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that disqualify him?
I don't know. To me, it should have. To me, it should have disqualified him when he didn't divest himself from all of his businesses like he said he was. Oh, I'm gonna let my boys run it.
Because Watergate, right? Watergate scandal made Nixon, right?
Yep.
He left. But this is a president that's in power, receiving money from a foreign country.
Yeah. In power. That doesn't make any sense either.
But like I said, but his following doesn't care about that.
They don't care.
But I'm saying,
I don't get that.
But that's another red flag.
I think that people are waking up. I really and truly think that people are waking up. They understand that the insurrection, January 6th, happened. They realized that it was bad, even though at the time they supported it. They're at least, honestly, a lot of them are opening up their eyes and saying, you know what, this is bad for the country. I don't like it. They see everything that's happening. They're listening to people. America's waking up, and that's scaring a lot of people too. That's scaring a lot of these big corporations. The millennials are coming.
Yes.
The millennials, Gen Z or Gen X, taught Gen Z how to chill.
But the things that
how to open their eyes and see things, the way they really are, not how they want you to see it.
But for me, I wish there was another option.
There will be.
Not Biden, not Trump.
So
someone else, even Nikki Haley.
So 2024, we have shit options, but 2028, that's going to be the year that you're hoping for.
Gavin Newsom.
It can be Gavin Newsom. I don't know. Somebody with different opinions.
Yes.
Somebody with different motivations, other than money, other than corporate, corporate lining.
I think we have to move away from that. From those two persons.
It has. If it's not done in 2028, it's never going to happen.
Because both parties, like I said, Joe Biden. Right now, the economy is not that good.
It's better than it was.
Inflation is off.
Right.
Inflation is bad. A lot of people. Everything's so expensive.
So hey, what about 2028? Cortez.
I don't know.
You want something new and fresh? She's got some great ideas.
I don't think so.
What?
She's too.
But that's what I mean. When you want something new, you're gonna have to get something like that.
No, but I want somebody. I don't want somebody that wants to take the guns, or
you're not gonna.
That wants to force me to have solar panels, or you're
not gonna get that,
or take my my gas mower.
You're not gonna get any of that. That's not gonna happen.
That's happening already.
No, it's not.
So I wish we can get someone with some common sense.
Okay, but
common sense. But
my point is, you don't really want change.
But I don't want to cope.
You want the same thing wrapped up in a different.
No, look at when Obama was in power. It was so nice.
Obama was a change. He was different. He was saying stuff that people would consider way too progressive.
Even Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton was a strategist. Yeah, he was a...
Ronald Reagan. Everybody loved Ronald Reagan.
No. At the time, they loved him, but look at his policies. Just so you guys know, a lot of what we're doing through now is because of what Reagan started back in the 80s. No, it happens, dude. Look at the wealth gap from the 80s on. Anyway, that's a whole nother podcast.
What I'm saying.
My whole point is, if you want something different, you're gonna have something that's actually different.
I just don't want the Mexican rhetoric. Anti-Mexican,
Right.
And I also don't want the inflation. I don't want.
But see, that's what I liked about Obama. He didn't push all that.
Like I said, yeah, but on one side, I think both sides they're bad.
Right now, anything on the Republican side that they can come up with because of the MAGA movement and what they've awakened, I guess, in America is that there's nothing going to be good coming out of that side for a long time.
This MAGA hope has to end.
But my point is, it's years. It's going to be years before you uproot that. So to me, anything for the next decade, 2 decades, it's going to have to be from the Democratic Party, because MAGA will not have anything other than what they're going through, social wars.
And if you look at it, they think that in 4 years Trump's going to save the world.
I know. He had 4 years to do all the stuff that he build a wall, do this, do that.
4 years. She's gonna change the world.
He's gonna have peace in the Middle East.
But they act like they talk like he's a savior,
Yes, I've seen people write open letters on Facebook that I would think that they're writing it to Jesus. You know what I mean? I'm serious. I know it sounds funny, but it's like they pour their heart out to this guy that that you pray about to God. And these guys are writing it out to Trump.
Have you haven't wrote a letter to Joe Biden yet?
No, that's funny. No, I have written a senator or two in my time. I am a Biden fan.
He's a Biden.
I wasn't.
He's part of the Biden cult.
No, because if somebody else comes around, yeah, let's vote for him. No. But right now, what you have is
Kennedy.
Kennedy's not better. He's a conspiracy guy.
Trump's a conspiracy guy too.
Exactly. So it's the same thing as Trump. So why wouldn't you want somebody like Nikki Haley,
I like Nikki Haley too.
She fumbled the football, man. I'm talking about that because America knows what the Civil War was fought over.
Yes.
You can't wave the Confederate flag anymore and a MAGA flag.
She's saying it to racists though.
No, she's saying it to keep the racists on her side. That's a fact. She doesn't want to lose that portion of the government. I mean, of the voting class that does think like that.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean? That's a fact. She doesn't want to lose those. That's why Trump did not denounce the Proud Boys when they asked him to denounce the Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. He didn't say, "Hey, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I don't want your votes."
Yes.
Same thing with Duke, whatever his name is, the KKK guy. Yeah. Same thing. He didn't say nothing against him. Oh well, I hardly know him, but he would have meetings with these people. What's the white supremacist guy? He's got the Mexican name or Spanish last name. Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes. He had a meeting in his house in Mar-a-Lago, and then they're like, "Oh, well, what are you worried about racism for? That stuff. That's not gonna." Dude, these guys are courting racists.
Yeah, I just want MAGA to be gone, and I want my inflation to be gone.
Okay, so
and I want lower gas prices.
You're to me. We've had these conversations a lot. This is podcast number 8?
Yes.
I think this is number 8. Anyway, I think you're a Republican. I know you don't commit. You don't say either way. To me, you're a Republican. You just don't like Trump, or you know that Trump's not good for the country, and you want a good Republican to show up and have those conservative values.
Yes.
But my point is, you're not going to get that. If you look at the Republican Party right now, you're not going to get that.
No, because
you better root them out.
He's bad too.
Mike Johnson,
yes,
the new speaker. That guy, they said, well, what do you think about, what are your style of government? Well, I go by the Bible. Really? They said, Raskin said, so you put your hand on the Bible and swore to uphold the Constitution. You didn't put your hand on the Constitution and swear to uphold the Bible.
Yeah, but the Democratic Party too, Omar, whatever her name in Minnesota, Omar, or she's anti-American too.
Oh my goodness, no, she's not.
Yes.
If she was, she wouldn't be a senator. Do you really think wherever she's from that they would go ahead and support it? You know what I mean? She's an American and she's pro-America. She gets nominated and elected because of her. The only thing you hear is sound bites from the right wing, and that's why everybody says. So, can you really think? Would you promote an un-American person?
No,
you wouldn't. That's neither. No place in the country would. So everybody does it too. Exactly. That's what they say. she's pushing for health care for everybody, but that's anti-American.
Yeah.
So my whole point is, I know what you want. I know what you're looking for. You're not going to have that for decades because of what Trump did to I'm going to say to your party. So if you want something even close in the interim, until you get to that point,
I think it's right.
It's going to have to be a Democrat.
No, I think his name is Robert Kennedy.
He's an old kid. Look at the name Kennedy. You want something new? That Kennedy name has been around since the 60s.
His dad would have been a great president.
Yeah.
And he's, it's, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, no. Okay, so January 6th happened, guys. And no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter what you hear, it happened. It was a horrible insurrection. It was violent. And like you said, it was a stain on the American history. It's going to be a stain for years to come. It's never going to change. And I think a lot of the things that we see now is that the Republican Party is pushing that. They're the ones that are saying that, let's stop the steal. America was stolen. Democrats are stealing. They're the ones pushing that. So you have to be smarter than that, and you have to know you can't vote for a Republican Party.
But
you know what I mean.
If Trump wins, hopefully the blue side doesn't don't want to do their own insurrection and.
They won't. I know what you mean, but
insurrection, they robbed us.
They won't, man. Because peaceful transition to power. That would have happened back in the Gore days. Because Gore was one of those guys. I'm surprised he didn't. Let's put it that way. He wasn't as cordial as people say. Wasn't a gentleman either. But anyway,
I enjoyed talking today.
Yeah, it's never fun rehashing the insurrection because it was a stain, but I think it has to be done. I think we have to talk about it. I don't want it to go by way of the Civil War and all of a sudden, oh no, it was for states' rights. No, it was for Trump's. He has a right to question. Okay, but that's not what it was about. He wanted to stay in power no matter what. Because of all the stuff that he's done, and he knew that he was going to have to pay the piper eventually, and that's what he's doing now. That's what's happening. Oh, real quick, I know we're done, but just real fast. Do you think that what's happening to Trump right now is election interference, or do you think not hearing this evidence is election interference?
Man, that's a good question.
You know what I mean? I'll tell you what I think. I think if I'm voting for a candidate and that candidate might have done something wrong, I want to know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I want to know what the courts say. I want to know if it was illegal. I want to know all the particulars about it. Because if you don't tell me, you're interfering with my election, my right to choose, with education, an educated choice.
Yes. But on the other side too, let's say how some states are taking them off their ballot too.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's also not fair too to the Republican Party? Because you're leaving them without their number one option.
They're using the Constitution. You're either for the Constitution or you're against it.
Yeah, but if we would take that out, it is voter suppression, right? To a certain degree. If you take Trump off the ballots.
No.
You're suppressing.
It is. You are.
His people's.
You're suppressing his people. But okay, so what? I want to vote for Bill Clinton again. I can't because of the Constitution. Obama. I would vote for Obama tomorrow. But I can't because of the Constitution. Yes. So really, you can't say that. Do you know what I mean?
But do you know where I'm coming from?
I know exactly where you're coming from. But my point is, just because you want something to happen, if they follow the Constitution, it's going to go to the Supreme Court, but according to them, they follow the Constitution. They found Article 14, They're taking him off of the ballots because that's what they think happened, and so it's not election interference.
So if they take him, but mostly all these states are Democrats, right? That are taking him off his ballots.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't really affect Trump at all.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. He wasn't going to win those anyway. The only thing that will affect it is if like the swing states.
Yes.
Like Colorado's a swing state. That would have been a big one. So right now he's in Maine. He probably wouldn't have done anything in Maine anyway.
So Iowa's going to be a good one.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
Anyway, I just want to get your take on that because I've been thinking about that for a while. I hear about it. It's election interference. I know it's an election interference if you don't give me all the information I need to make a solid.
But if you take away my candidate.
Yeah, but if your candidate took himself away, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's like when you're at work and somebody gets fired. They didn't get fired. They did something to get them fired.
Yes.
Even though Trump did something.
He could have been
the number one employee,
or the connect. The one that he could have been he had everybody's back, right?
Yeah,
Everybody liked him.
Exactly.
But he stole from the company.
Exactly.
He had to go, huh?
He's got to go. Same thing. You can't say, well, if. Anyway, to me, I get what you're saying, and it sounds funny, but the truth is, if I don't have all the information to make an informed decision, then you're interfering.
No, but everything has to come out, huh?
Yeah, it's got to come out. That's what's happening. We have a justice system, and we have to support it. Just because Trump says that it's crooked doesn't mean it's crooked.
No.
It just means that things are happening that he doesn't like.
Yeah. But like I said, we got a couple more. It's going to be a good year, and we're going to have more podcasts.
There's a lot happening this year, man. It's historical in a lot of ways.
Like
so
I said, just be aware of our next podcast.
Yeah, we'll try to be a little more
active.
Active, I guess. Yeah, we should do this a little more often.
Yes,
it's kind of hard to get together because we got a lot of stuff going on in our lives.
And he lives.
Yeah,
and I live on this side.
Right. Yeah. So, but it works. We make it work. And then you'll be seeing some more stuff coming out. So
thanks for watching. And like I said, we're just two guys that just
right, have fun.
Yeah.
We like talking about it. We talk about it no matter what, whether there's a camera or not. So we figured we might as well start the camera and see what we get. So.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thanks for watching. Burn the Barn Down podcast.
Yeah. All right. Bye.